You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waste. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 446th edition of the Fallout feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks tonight. We've got Ray. What's up, Ray?
Yeah, hello.
Also, Jess. What's going on, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Kapow, everybody.
Kerpow.
Bringing it back.
Bringing her back. Tonight on the show, gameplay off the top. Got a double dose of game time tonight. Also, a couple of iguana bits. And various assortment of shouts on the way out the door. So let's go ahead and roll right in. Hey, Ray, did you get a chance to play any video games this week, sir?
I may have, as evidenced by our Fallout feed stream the other night.
Oh, that was just last night,
True.
wasn't it?
That was last night.
Oh, last night, right. Yeah, that was good fun. It's been a while. We need to stream more often, Ray. That was really good time.
I can definitely do that. It was fun. I'll try to make it a little more compelling this next time, but
It was pretty compelling.
I
I mean,
don't
you
know what you
covered the
mean.
stuff we talked about last week that you're going to, and a little more.
I was like, do it again.
That was the best part. Yeah, okay. You tell us about it, right?
but I'll start off with so my gameplay this past week was a lot like my gameplay the previous week, which is good because that's sticking with my no less gameplay New Year's resolution.
Oh, good job. Yes, good job.
All right. He can do it 52 weeks in a row, you guys. He's going to play more games. Or no, just not less games.
Not less games.
All right. The same or more amount of games 52 weeks in a row, Ray. You can do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
So, doing permadeath runs in No Man's Sky, so that's always fun. I had one that went less than an hour. I got super lucky on that one.
Do you have one that's like just, months or years old?
Not this. I would nenever be able to tolerate it that long.
Oh, really?
I think
well,
the
that's right.
longest
You have
one
to
I've
restart,
done
right?
is 6 hours. 'Cause it's you're walking across the planet, and you're constantly, so every 3 minutes having to recharge your hazard protection, about every 10 minutes having to recharge your health, and all the while constantly scanning, trying to find a ship or a building or any sign of life that will bring an end to the challenge,
Or an end to your life.
yeah, or so the most common way to die is stumbling down a hill.
I was going to say falling off of something. I think most home injuries are falls, right? Slip and falls.
Yeah. So that's in No Man's Sky, the most common way to die is sudden impact with the ground. So
That'll do it.
and Skyrim, I'm still running around with my Khajiit thief character, and that's all good. We did a Skyrim addict show this week, so got a lot of good talk in about that one.
You got a spreadsheet of all your characters or something?
Notebooks.
Notebooks.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone back and tallied in Skyrim the different races out of all the characters you've created, what your different concentrations are?
No.
What do you think? It's got to be Khajiit. It's got to be your highest, right?
Khajiit's up there. I do a lot of Bretons.
Good call. Good choice.
The
Because
mage
they're kind
factor,
of
right.
utility players.
If you're doing magic, right?
Yeah, good with magic, but also good with fighting.
Yeah, sword in one hand, spell in the other. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've never really bothered tallying, because it's 2 notebooks full. So
I mean,
That's a lot. It's good to be able to look back on previous builds, though, right? Like if you want to recreate a character, because you probably don't have the saves for a lot of them at this point.
no, yeah, I don't. I have a lot of them, but I don't have all of them.
have
The nice thing with using Vortex and the profile system, it keeps your saves and your mod lists together, so that it makes it easier, if you do want to go back and play something that you've done before.
who's made the
So-
most characters between you, Michael, and Victor?
Oh, I don't know. Victor's done a lot with it. He used to do, where he would just do, random character after random character, and, he'd play like, 20, 30 minutes on a character, building it up, and then, start something new.
Well, sometimes it's not even random. Sometimes he build whole like a character, and then like his brother, and then the nephew, and then the cousin. And
Oh
then
yeah, well,
like, a whole
yeah,
family out.
he's got his families, but that was
Yeah.
a separate project.
Yeah, the family lineage thing was always really cool. I feel like a few of our other listeners do that in, both Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Even if it's not in the same game, but like game after game, like this character's a descendant of this one, and
Yeah.
all that.
So,
Seriously, yeah, that's fun.
but then after we talked on the show last week, about doing a stream, I thought, I should spin up a new character and take him through, some stuff. And earlier in the week, I found that the mod that I had talked about with the enhanced backgrounds had an update. So I loaded that up, and it actually worked. And so I started a Hitman character. So the Hitman background gives you sneak, pistols, and security. And so I started that. And that actually kind of screwed up my plan, because when you give me stealth, I'm immediately going to start leveling stealth.
Immediately. Hmm.
And so I was running around on Jemison, shooting unsuspecting creatures. And, before you know it, your level 5 character that you leave the lodge with is, suddenly level 10. And you're like, oh crap, that's not a very low level character to do a stream on a very hard planet with.
Oh, geez. I mean, it's still low-ish, but I realize by your standards, not that low. Because
Yeah.
what kind of prompted it was your comment that, you can have like a level 5 character one-shotting a 96 or something last week, right?
Yeah. So, but it was good. It's still, I was still, 86 levels below the boss, when I was fighting him. So, it was fun to do. And you can see it's a good challenge, early on in the game. And so, since I did that stream last night, today I ran him through a few more buildings and have picked up some better weapons. One thing that I spared everybody on the stream was save scumming better equipment, because you can reload
It's
30 times.
Pretty exciting to watch someone reload. Yeah.
Yeah. So, So I just kind of took what I got, which was fine. I did end up getting a gun that I used for another couple of buildings that was quite helpful. But now I'm starting to get, better and better gear, and so it's about time to snuff out this Hitman and start a new one.
About time to hit this hitman. Hire a hitman to deal with this hitman.
Yeah. Um, but it's definitely a lot of fun. I went through the same type of facility, um, that I did on the stream. I did it today, after getting a couple of upgraded weapons,
Mhm.
and only ended up dying once instead of the 4 or 5 times that I
Makes
died.
sense. It's the kind of thing. It's a snowball effect. For those who didn't watch the stream, you had described it ahead, Ray, about how you would do it. But the actual getting there, the starting from dead scratch to going through and getting the good gear, you could even see in real time as you got a couple good drops how it was going faster. But the amount of time and patience you put into that, I mean, it was like photo mode. Like I'm like, wow. So Ray will spend 30 minutes grinding on one thing to kill a level 96 at a really low level, just like I will to get a picture. That was it was neat. It took a lot of patience, but I could see how if you're going to play that way that it would snowball and eventually you get more and more powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is, the challenge is in, finding a way to overcome that higher level character who can very easily just, snuff you out. I mean,
As
you could
soon as
see,
he rushes you. Mhm.
the level 50 boss that came in and rushed me and just, blew me away. Um, you don't stand a chance, because even though I've got, good armor, because going to the collapsed mines, I had an advanced backpack, and I had a superior helmet, and I had picked up a bounty hunter's uh, spacesuit. So my DR was over 600. Um, by the time I got started today, and that makes you a lot less vulnerable. But then we played around with the shipbuilding. Got to see the double ship glitch. Um, so the game didn't like the fact that I had scrapped the Frontier, built a new ship, scrapped that ship, built a new ship on top of it. So I had a ship in a ship, which was kind of wild. So that was, fortunately, you know, it's not big. One nice thing about not having precious characters
Mhm.
is that when stuff goes horribly wrong,
It's funny
uh,
instead of
I don't care.
tragedy.
Yeah, it's funny. Oh, haha, you weren't going to last much longer anyway. So,
No,
Yeah, and that ship in a ship thing, that was just a small visual glitch with scrapping all and rebuilding right there. Like next time you loaded it probably wouldn't have persisted.
yeah, well, even when I took off,
Mhm.
um, and left the ship on the landing pad, flew up into space, and then flew back down, it was gone.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I remember that you left it behind. I didn't remember it was gone when you landed. I had that the other day outside the Red Mile where I ended up having two of my ships, like perfectly matching pairs. It was beautiful. I went to get in the other one and the game crashed. Then when I reloaded that save, it was still there, but without any paint and inaccessible. So yeah, game is weird. Game be weird sometimes.
Yeah.
game worked good. All right.
So
Yeah.
we'll
What
see
else?
what happens when, I'm kind of, you know, uh, kind of just killing time until, you know, some stuff happens. So we'll see what happens. But I now I need to play around with this new mod a little bit more because it's got a lot of fun backgrounds to choose from. So I'll have to play around with that and see.
Yeah, that looks really neat. I'm glad you've got the full background mod on that for your Starfield character.
Yeah. And I got to torment everybody with my Star UI mods. So
Yeah, we were. I have to tell you. So for those who haven't seen it on PC and haven't seen Star UI, it was kind of a revelation seeing some of these menus you had, your inventory, everything fitting on one screen. Even your ship builder had its own menu, which was really nice looking too. I was a little bit jealous. I mean, it might be hard to navigate with a controller, so there is that. There's a reason why we have such a big text, but yeah, it was nice.
yeah.
Now, didn't you say when you first were trying the Star UI mod that you could almost make it too small to actually use if you wanted?
I mean it if you get rid of too many columns, or if you add too many columns, it gets kind of wonky. But now it's just perfect the way it is. I love it, and won't play without it.
It was awesome. It was great to see how you build ships your own way. Like we have some similar ideas, but like the way you explained it and went through a couple different builds. And did you mention the part where Andrew said, do it again slower yet? Don't think you did. So after you finished describing all this, Andrew was watching partly without sound because, stuff was going on in the house. And then he's like, okay, that was great. Now do it again. Slower.
Okay. Do you really want to know what was happening? The wife was what's been happening recently is the wife goes to bed at like the same time as the kid. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch Ray's stream at 9. But she happened to take a nap earlier that day, so she was in the mood to stay up and watch Lord of the Rings and
Good for her.
try to ask me questions about a show that I hadn't seen yet. I'm just like,
oh wait,
I
so she was
know,
also
dear.
talking about it.
Yeah. So I was trying to pay attention to Ray's stream for the first half, and that's mainly when you were tussling with the pirate fellas. And then she went to bed, and I was able to pay attention a little more to the building section. But I wanted you to do it over. And what I really wanted to do, does Twitch have a smart TV app? Because I wanted to put it on my other television and then play on the Xbox, but I had to use the Xbox as my Twitch stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd probably have to have Fire TV.
Yeah,
Fire TV.
it does for Apple TV too, right? Probably.
Yeah, but I think Pat was saying that it was being phased out.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. To be fair, they've changed how they use the apps on a lot of these services. Like the app on Xbox isn't quite as good as it used to be, where it was all interactive. You could chat there. Now you mostly have to chat from your phone, and you can just watch it on these other services.
That's what it says. It's like you open up the Twitch app, and it's like, oh, would you like to participate? Then open up the app on your phone. It's like, why don't you just make the Xbox app usable?
Yes, like it used to be. I don't mind typing with controller or, type on your phone, but in the Xbox. Maybe they realized a lot of people actually chatting on the Xbox app were just doing it through their phone anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, that would be a good way to do it for sure. I like having it up on the big screen.
Yeah, and I was trying to do that thing where you have it on your phone and then you stream it to the TV with the Apple AirPlay or whatever the fuck it's called, and they wouldn't allow that. Twitch, I guess they don't want you trying to do that. For
I don't know. It works on Android.
Stupid Apple. What else you getting into there, Ray?
That's been about it. It takes a little bit to get those characters, ready to go. Because I kind of have a routine thing that I do. So the first thing I do, so you're in the frontier and you've got, very limited travel distance.
I cannot believe you already have a routine for starting characters. This is amazing.
But there's a bunch of magazines that you can get, very easily without any combat. And so, it's nice on very hard to be able to run around and grab some magazines and get a couple of little buffs, here and there. So grab a couple of Varun magazines and Crix's Journal and some other stuff like that. So, I hit the Narian system, I hit Mars, I hit you go through and get all the ones out of New Atlantis, and then you got to go to Volii anyway, so you might as well go through the lobbies of all the businesses there in the tower and pick all those magazines up. And it's just a little routine that kind of works itself out because it gets you to where you need to be, plus it helps you buff your character. So.
But you have to be careful while prepping character not to make character too high leveled or powerful before you.
Yeah, I got to stop using sneak.
Do said project.
I just can't not level sneak. It's
a disease with all of you folks across all of these games, all you sneaky archers and snipers, and you're all just disgusting bedfellows.
It's what can I say? It's a thing.
But so many people play like that. You know what I mean? That it's sort of like a standard way to play a game like these.
Well, I mean, when you're getting a 5 times sneak attack bonus, it's kind of hard to pass that up.
Do you think that that's why most people play that form, is because of the attack bonuses associated?
Yeah. You get the attack bonuses and you're less likely to get attacked.
Okay.
Although they did address that a little bit in Starfield. In Starfield, even if you're not detected, enemies will just spray their machine guns at you because they've got unlimited bullets. So
they figure the general area you are and just, that makes sense.
They just kind of spray it. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to pass up. So I'm better off just without sneak. So I got to stop doing that.
You're not going to stop doing that. And
at least for these very hard character runs.
I like that you're trying to keep your character like low level. It's funny because it is kind of self-defeating, because the fun is, trying to get up there, actually make it work, get the character maxed. But once it's maxed, then you don't want to play it anymore. It's kind of like you on the scoreboard. You're like, I don't want to get any actual ranks on the scoreboard. Now your characters you try to keep under level 20.
Or his agility bobblehead run in Fallout 4 where he's trying to get down to the fucking ship by level 2 or before level 2.
Trying not to get any levels before I get to the North Star.
Yeah, it's just another way to play. I like it. It's neat, but but it does seem a little self-defeating when the goal is to get to the point where you can't play the character anymore. I guess in a way we're all like that, because when we finish the game, then we're done. So I guess our goal is always to like finish the game. We just have different criteria for that.
Yeah.
And Bethesda's trying to counteract that by making their game sort of all-encompassing world-like. So, no, the game goes on after you complete it. So, there's plenty to do. No, don't put the controller down. Come on back.
Oh, there is a comment in chat about what you would think of Dark Souls. Have you ever tried any of the Dark Souls games? Demon Souls, any of those?
No, because I'm pretty sure they're all third person.
Elden Ring I guess they are all third person, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would get in the way of your enjoyment.
Yeah.
I played Dark Souls for like 5 minutes and I put it down. I was like, eh.
Yeah, I know Michael was so into Elden Ring for a bit.
Yeah, it looks like I would love that game.
Elden Ring looks awesome. Was that the same series as Dark Souls? Are they all connected?
Essentially, yeah. Elden Ring is the same company. It's not same world, but essentially same mechanics. That's why people call games like that like Souls-likes. So Bloodborne and I think Elden Ring are both separate, but they're still both, by the same creators and Souls likes. Don't quote me.
Are you saying
because I'm not sure on the lore.
Are
but I
you
don't
saying
think they're
Souls
connected.
likes, like your heavenly soul? Souls likes?
Yeah, because they're called Dark Souls, so Souls likes. It's kind of like Metroidvanias. You know what I mean? When a game kind of defines a genre or creates a genre of its own, where there's nothing else quite like it, then when other games emulate that, they become that. So there's no real Skyrim likes, which is something that people have often wondered about, just because Bethesda is, complex enough that there really aren't many Bethesda likes. I mean, closest you might get is like Dragon's Dogma or something, but that's more action. But Vampire Survivors, you've got the garlic likes, as people are calling them. And but yeah, a lot of genres when they become popular, like that. Roguelikes
funny.
were probably maybe one of the first to kind of have that thing, that name.
That's awesome. I'd never heard that term before.
Yeah. So I think in my next run I'm gonna have to use diplomat.
And
so I have no
does that
ship
let you-
skills, no fighting skills.
Let you convince people and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's nobody you can convince.
You can't convince anyone of anything. What is diplomat then? What is
It would just be the weakest possible character you could put together.
He's like when you want to start a role-playing public team in Fallout 76 is what he's saying.
I'm doing the politician and I'm removing his spine, but on
No, but he can do diplomatic. You can do diplomatic. I mean, Gemma's background is diplomat, Ray, by the way. My character's background is diplomat.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
they're great. I love diplomats.
It pops up occasionally.
Yeah, so I know we'll see, but yeah, this one's about ready to wind down already.
And how long did that take from conception to completion there?
I don't know. This one was longer than normal.
So 7-8 days.
So it took me like 3 days.
3 days. Ray, you gotta have some sort of continuity in your life, right?
I mean, I've been
3
married to
days.
the same woman for 37 years.
Well, she tolerates you play video games.
Well, that's because she's
14
always
hours
playing
a
her
day.
video
Well,
games.
that's the perfect arrangement now, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Match made in Stovacor.
Right on. You been playing anything else?
Nope, that was it.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Everyone go listen to the Butcher Baker Candle Maker in Space. I just listened to the one that Ray posted day before or day after Christmas. I don't remember, but I listened to that one the other day at work, and you guys are always just so fun to listen to. I haven't spoken to Baker in such a long time. I need to touch base.
Yeah, he pops in on Discord occasionally and stuff. Definitely reach out and say hey.
Well,
Yeah.
I've pretty much stopped using Twitter, and that's where we spoke. I think
He
he
has
stopped
too.
using it too. So
Yep.
I'm like, where'd Baker go? Oh wait, we stopped using our communication platform.
No. He's in Discord quite a bit, so
Yeah, I need to. That's
Yep.
probably the answer. I just need to start using Discord.
It's the answer to everything, y'all. Although it's funny talking about places where we socialize and meet and such. I'm glad we started the show tonight with No Man's Sky and then a lot of Skyrim before we got to the Starfield, because I noticed the last like 5 or 6 people who have joined our Facebook group so far this year, 4 out of 5 are like, I listen to Skyrim Addict. And they're popping in, and someone put up a meme yesterday. When you're too late, when you're here to talk Skyrim and everybody else is talking Starfield, got a lot of likes in the group. It was pretty funny. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty apropos. I'm like, but don't worry, we do still talk Skyrim on the Fallout feed. The perfect place for it.
Could it be more appropriate?
And of course on Skyrim Addict. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of amusing.
Very nice. Jess, did you get a chance to play any video games this week?
I did, but it's going to be a little bit of a shorter week for me too, because my Fallout play was very limited. It feels like a lot of it was spent kind of hunting for teapots.
Jesus
Did you have
fucking
that
Christ,
experience?
the goddamn teapots and teddy bears are going to go fuck themselves. Seriously.
Gosh, there's tea kettles everywhere.
Exactly. It's funny because we were talking, Sulior wasn't doing it and others were doing it. And they mentioned Andrew's probably hating it. And I'm like, yeah, Andrew probably is hating it. I got on, I just did all mine in one night. I didn't do that many dailies, but just going in there looking for stuff. And I kept finding tea kettles, which they're great. I guess, I didn't know the difference, but I guess you cook in a tea kettle and you serve in a teapot. Like you don't put a teapot on the stove. So
Don't you dare put a kettle at the table either.
Oh, well, I mean, look, I just do it all in the microwave, so.
I
I was going
will
to say, don't you just do it in the microwave?
I will drop my monocle and my cummerbund will flip up in shock. Don't you dare.
And I've seen this man in a cummerbund. He does have one.
I've got a sequin-laced cummerbund. It is fancy pantsy.
Wow, very flashy. But yeah, so it inspired me to do a little tweet where essentially I am thinking, like, Fallout is always tricking us. They need to be a little bit looser with the rules on these dailies because they're always like, a tea kettle is not a teapot. Sorry, it should be. A Mr. Fuzzy is not a teddy. Hello, Mr. Fuzzy should be a teddy. A cobbler is not a pie. This is where we started. This is where we started, and they got on board, and they're like, and had a huge debate about it, just like us.
They are so cute.
And worst of all, ribeye steak and mole rat chunks, and pretty much every meat in the game is not dog food. I'm sorry. I know a lot of dogs. They eat pretty much everything we find down there.
I'd say 100% of dogs.
There are things that aren't food that dogs will eat.
That's so very true. But so that was my Fallout play, was just jumping in and doing. I did about half the weeklies this time and all the dailies for that day. One day of Fallout, not enough.
As long as they don't go overboard and say that cat poop's not dog food.
I mean, luckily we can't find it, but yeah, gross.
Delicacy.
Ew. Oh, but other stuff for gameplay, it was a Starfield week for me. So, I could go pretty in depth on it. I won't go too deep. But as you guys know, we talked about the Justin Barrett show 3 weeks and putting it off. So finally, after the show last week, I went and I'm like, yep, okay, we got to get this done. So I went and I started the group of quests that I had to get, where you kind of go in and it basically determines which companion. And once again, very light spoilers on this that I've covered the last week or two, but for those who want to avoid, just skip ahead. You basically, whatever companion stays on the eye, that's your highest affinity, and then your second highest affinity will go with you. And there's a chance that after the couple of quests, one of them won't make it. Things will happen. And so you guys know that I wanted to avoid that being Andreja, my character's wife, and Sam, just because I didn't want to do that to Cora because he has a daughter. And so I had been preparing a Barrett for the ritual sacrifice, and I were yucking it up the whole time. I'm like evil and Machiavellian, but that's the whole thing, which, oh God, I felt bad because I have so much fun with him too. I mean, I love all the companions. It was awful. So anyway, I go to turn it in, and guess what? They still send me with Sam after all that, after my 3-week detour and all kinds of extra quests and all that. It was strange. So I don't know if maybe the idea that it is your first and second highest affinity is correct, or if I just have that much affinity with Sam. I'm not sure. But I said, okay, this is what we're doing.
Well, I could try it and have them all hate me.
I'm sure it's calculates it somehow. But yeah, I'm just not sure. And yeah, one thing that's interesting, without getting into it, because I haven't done New Game Plus yet, but sometimes different actions you have can affect the likelihood or possibility of getting certain specific New Game Pluses when you go. And so if Sam dies, that might have certain ramifications that other things can have too. So we went and we did the collector quest, which was a lot of fun. Got to see this vessel, the Scow, and this is a quest for those who haven't done it yet, or those who have and want to sympathize or empathize, that some people are unhappy with, because while there are multiple ways to do it, there's no way around getting a bounty on it. Sort of. There is one way around it, but it's the absolute worst. So, Ray, you might have done this. But
I don't remember there being a bounty.
yeah, this is what I was afraid of. So essentially, what happens is you have to get an artifact from this guy, and he's not going to sell it to you. So you can steal it, and you can kill people on the ship. You can, sneak. You can do all kinds of things. You can unleash zoo animals to distract them. He's got a zoo on board. It's a neat ship, neat quest. So there's all these different tacks you can take to doing it. But ultimately, even if you're never detected on your way there, you get in there through the secret vents. By the way, like there's all kinds of ways to do this. But you get there when you take the item, it's going to be marked for a bounty. You're going to be stealing bounty 500. Like that is unavoidable when you touch the piece. And then, of course, if you're there killing a bunch of people and stuff like that, it's going to increase. Essentially, when you get him down, the owner of the ship down to a certain level, he will, surrender. He will surrender for you. But you can also, you can kill him. You don't have to accept the surrender if you go too far, depending on the weapon you're using. So you can do that, kill him, kill everybody. You can have him surrender. One way around this, and of course, like I said, you would do get detected when you take it, even if you snuck all the way. So even if you sneak all the way out and don't kill a single person, you'll have a 500 bounty. The easiest way to do it, if you want to tackle it and hurt the least number of people, is if you immediately attack him. When time's coming, you're going to take it. You can get him to the point where he's hurt enough that he'll surrender right away. That way you never need to shoot anybody else. Nobody shoots you. You can take it. And at that point, you can loot whatever you want from the ship. Everything that would have been marked as stealing is now free for the taking because you have officially crossed the line into pirate territory. And so as you're walking and taking stuff, people are like, yeah, you filthy pirate. And I can't believe the captain's doing it. If it was me, you'd be dead, blah, blah, blah. But you can pirate. Of course, I didn't. Now, the one way you can get out of this without a bounty, from what I'm told, with the minimum 500, is if you do all this, kill them or don't. If you, after you leave, you still shoot and destroy the ship so the entire thing is destroyed, then the bounty is canceled out and it's never reported. Ray, did you maybe shoot the ship?
No witnesses.
No witnesses. Yeah, so that's the one way around it. But of course, people want to be able to, and this is why some people are annoyed, they want to be able to complete it either with no bounty because they were so sneaky or because they were so diplomatic. So while there's a lot of ways to do it, not quite as many as people would like. And it's one of the quests in the main quest line that some people don't love because of that. But what a character. The Collector is a great character. People on his ship are really neat. The place is called the Scow because they call him a collector, but really he's a hoarder. And so it's quite the ship. But so that was fun. And then, of course, you go back and you do High Price to Pay. And I won't get into all the specifics there, but things go certain ways. I played through it a couple times. And ultimately, the way I played out that seemed best for my character and my role play, the way it ended is that Andreja did die. So that was very upsetting. I tried playing a couple ways, but it's the only thing that felt right. So that's what happened. I mean, not right in a good way. Andrew's there smirking.
It just felt right when she died, I mean,
no, it was horrible.
Really
it was horrible, but it played out like in the way that was natural. I feel like the game actually wanted you to kind of take that course based on things in the quest. Like I said, I don't want to get into specifics, but so did all that, and
yeah, it was a short blonde in my game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so sad. It just how emotionally impactful is that? It's a big deal. And then after that, you start doing more quests to find stuff. So I had mentioned I was trying to do, I had gotten the Land on 100 Planets achievement last week. And this week I'm still pushing towards the All Systems achievement too to get that too. So it's funny. If you go to New Game Plus, it's a little bit easier to get all systems because it starts re-adding them again. So you just have to get over 120 systems, but I'm trying to do it all on my original game. So I got it to 117 systems. I was at about 90 something last week, maybe almost 100. And so that's just a lot of grav jumping, a little bit exploring. And of course, you can't resist landing on some of them. Or whenever you see a random ship in orbit of one of the planets there, always check your map. And if you see a random ship, now I'm not saying where you are, the regular random encounters you see, yeah, those are great. Sometimes they repeat, sometimes they don't. I mentioned I got to see a Kepler S in the wild last week, and there are still new encounters happening, which are fun. But what I mean is when you open the map after you jump, and you actually see a point of interest ship on the map around a planet, always check it out, right? Because it could be a derelict ship with a quest. That's how you find, we've talked about the Colander and a few really cool quests there. But there are all kinds of interesting encounters that happen when you see a ship marker on the map. So just another point of interest. Make sure you check out. So I got a lot of that done. Explored a lot more planets, a lot of photos. So that was all my Starfield this week. A ton. And I did actually get to the point where I am progressing the main quest, and I don't want to hit spoiler territory. Again, this isn't a Starfield podcast, so you're not coming here expecting that. But I've gotten pretty far, and if I actually focus, I should be done the main story and pretty much everything by next week. I don't know that I will, but I should be.
Jerry is rounding third base for the 14th or 15th time now, right?
Yeah, he's, I don't know. I don't know what NG plus he's on. I think he's done at least 6. He's been living in this current one a lot. He's on the 100% achievement goal as well. He's got all but one achievement now. Earlier today, actually, he just got the one for connecting your outposts and a few things. He just has to get the level 100 achievement. Now, what's interesting is a lot of our friends who are at level, doing all the NG pluses and playing over and over again, like I think Jerry's high 60s. Or mid 60s, Siliora's high 60s. I'm 76. I've never even done New Game Plus and I'm level 76. So you can grind out levels in one universe. It just takes a little longer. But I'm putting in the time. So yeah, we'll got to get to 100. But that was my Starfield gameplay. We'll see what happens. I do want to say, so a couple other cool things that happened. I mentioned the skeleton ship happening off and on. This isn't a cool thing. It had, as I mentioned, end of last week's gameplay. Like when I went to the eye, it did that again. Well, it was happening everywhere. I could dock on a ship. I fast travel back to my ship. It would be skeleton ship. So I switched back to the Violet Capybara, my original ship. I basically just kind of revamped it, rebuilt it. It's actually a little bit tougher than the Strike was. It's got all the good stuff, and I've built the armillary there. So that is kind of my main ship to finish the game with, which makes sense, bookending it with the ship I started with being the ship I ended with. Also, the coolest random encounter I found. Have either of you found a lightning nebula on a planet? Ray, have you seen one of these?
No.
So one of the things, when you warp into a planet and you're in orbit around it, because that's where most of the game takes place, in space is in orbit of other celestial bodies. Sometimes you get ships, you get asteroids, you get various things, you get debris, sometimes a satellite. Well, I got a lightning nebula, like it was very Star Trek, pinkish purple nebula all swirling around me. And as you kind of fly through it, like, I don't know if it's technically a nebula or not, like an Oort cloud or something, but there's like electricity in it. It's got electricity and it'll actually zap you. You can destroy your ship flying through this, getting zapped with electricity. It's a very cool effect, very cool looking. And I want more of this in space. I want space to be like clever and like more varied like that. So I just thought that was the coolest.
That's a lot like the system that you fly into during the pirate quest.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have to go through several of the steps to get specialized equipment on your ship to be able to survive it.
Oh, nice. So that's a specific quest. Yeah, this was just a random occurrence, I think. But Lee is clarifying to me, an Oort cloud is around a solar system, not a planet. It's where comets are born. Okay, that makes sense. I'm just kind of thinking of like dropping the space knowledge. We can always trust Lee for that.
Now, every time I travel to Masada, the Masada system, I don't remember which one it is, but when the planet that they dump you onto, when you travel to that system, it's got kind of a red cloud.
Is that always there? Then yeah. I think it was. It was either the Mal system, Maal, or Masada. It was probably Masada then. So if it's always there, you guys check out the Masada system. It's an awesome effect. I didn't realize it was always there.
Yeah, it's super cool. Why
don't we have that on more planets?
That's the closest level 75 planet. So you can get there with a 19 light year jump ship. I go there a lot.
Very nice. Yeah, I did some good leveling with those high level planets because kind of like we talked about, it really is the best way to level. 75 with a lot of creatures. Spent a good bit of time on Bardeen. I shared some pictures from Bardeen. It has a really varied biomes, 11 types of fauna. So got some good fights in there. And there was one system that Andrasia and I went, oh, no, not Andrasia. Oh my God, sad. Okay, no, that Sarah and I went to. I don't think it was Sarah at that point. And
that's hilarious.
I know, they were these floating jellyfish like creatures, but there were so many of them in the sky. And if you shoot one, they start swarming you. And man, that is great XP because you just sit there, they all come to you, and you can pick them out of the sky as they float towards you. That was a really, really cool planet.
Nice.
Yeah. So did that. And then I was also going to mention, and this isn't really gameplay, it's more Guana bits, but I'll put it in early. There was some conversation on Twitter this week, like there often is, about various things. But this one specifically, I've been talking about with some people on a Bethesda Discord, and then some other people mentioned people who have been paying attention to the official Fallout account on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram may have noticed that over the last 2 weeks, there's been a number of just like Fallout general knowledge or Fallout history posts. And, specifically it started with Fallout 3 and 4, just some obscure stuff or facts about the games and the world. And so people, like they do, are like, "Ooh, this has to mean something. This has to mean something." They're teasing the Fallout, the Fallout 3 remaster, and all the stuff we've been talking about off and on the last while, and just getting carried away. And so someone asked in one Discord about this has to mean something, right? And I'm like, yeah, people who know wouldn't be at liberty to say, but I am pretty sure they're just doing it because of the TV show coming up. We have to remember there's all kinds of new people going to be discovering Fallout, going to be, "Oh, I'm hearing about the show. Let me look it up." And when they do, getting actual, a little bit of lore, a little bit of history, a little bit of here's what Fallout is with general pictures. It's great for fans to kind of remind them and, bring them into that kind of stuff if they're not as immersed in it as we are, but also for new people. They want to share, this. So yeah, the person was saying something is afoot here, but I just think, while we know Fallout 4 Next Gen is coming and all that, this is really just for the TV show and just for new people. And they're just kind of getting some general hype around Fallout. And so I mentioned that. And then Juicehead actually did a tweet about it that a lot of people responded to. So kind of we're all seeing these trends. So yeah, you guys don't get that excited, okay? Not everything has 5 pins or 20 pins on a corkboard and a bunch of red string. It's they're just, the Fallout account is talking about Fallout. That's kind of what they should do. It doesn't mean anything.
But they're not talking about Starfield too?
Well, I mean, maybe a little bit. There's a lot of crossover there. You never know when it's going to happen. But yeah, that was my gameplay. A lot of good pictures and not enough Fallout. I'm sorry, y'all. Hopefully next week. Careful, we're about to head into the Baldur's Gate 3 territory. We'll get Willa back on, and a bunch of our friends are playing BG3 right now. Silior is too. Actually, to be fair, everybody in our extended crew seems to be playing Baldur's Gate 3. I might be the last not to.
You know what? I probably won't play it at all, ever.
You and Ray both probably. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. My gameplay will be fairly quick this week. Got my shelter in over mode with just breeding overproduction of children now. A couple weeks ago I was decimated back down into the 30s. Now back to 140. No, just today I just passed 150. But after I'd written these notes. So, finally cranking the people back up. I still feel like everyone's fairly low leveled, though. I probably don't have too many above 40.
Oh,
Maybe
where does shelter top out again? Is it 50?
It tops out at 50. But yeah, the quests are still hard. There's still a couple that I have been failing, and people have to come back and hang their head, and the pets come back. The people are dead. The pets aren't hanging their head, though. They don't understand. So that's been great. I've been really nailing the shelter. Since after I passed the level 100, or not level 100, 100 dwellers, that means I can build the Nuka-Cola bottling plants, which replace the food and water and combine them into one room, which is really
I would
nice.
like to just live on Nuka-Cola. I'm down with this.
How does that provide nutrition, by the way?
Maybe there's a lot of sediment in the water.
On in there?
I don't know.
It's new Nuka-Cola chunks.
High turbidity. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like the little. Do you remember like the globe soda? The soda with like the little floating balls in it. What was that called?
I don't know. Was it that boba? Was it the
I
gelatin
mean, like,
boba
well,
stuff?
boba tea's delicious, but yeah, there was a soda for a while, Orbits, I think it was called. Yeah,
That's a
you never
gum.
had it?
No, I have no idea. I haven't heard of that. Orbits, and it had little balls in it.
I'll look it up. I'll show you a picture. Anyway, go on.
Hilarious.
Gameplay. Sorry.
Oh
You
no,
got
that's hilarious.
refreshing Nuka-Cola.
Yeah, I was putting in some bottling plants, tearing out the old restaurants and the old water production facilities and building the new. But, those Nuka-Cola bottling plants get super pricey. And, each time you build the room, it goes up and up and up and up in price. So, each time I build one, like, little tiny third of a room cell there, it's like $5 or $6 grand in caps now just to build one room. So it took a while to get the foundational food and water stuff purchased out. But I got most of that stuff going, and now I need a couple more Mr. Handies if I wanted it to be fully automated. I still need to punch my finger on actually no, since I'm playing on Xbox, still make the rounds, if you will, and collect resources. If I had a couple more Mr. Handies, I think just 2, maybe 3 more, it would be fully automated, and I wouldn't ever need to worry about collecting any resources anymore.
I have dropped a couple pictures of Orbits in the Discord, and some people are asking, "Was that a real thing, Jess? Did you try it?" And yeah, no, I totally drank it. It was big mid '90s in high school.
I vaguely remember this. What were the balls made out of?
I do think it was kind of like a weird tapioca gelatin mixture. Yeah,
Nice.
they were chewy. It was weird.
It looks like clearly Canadian with gelatin in it. Yeah. That's great.
I don't always drink soda. Lies, I do. But, when I do, I like to chew it.
Guys, it's such a tragedy. I'm such a Coke head, not not cocaine, but I just drink so much fucking cola all the time. And I've been trying to cut back, and it's so fucking hard. It sucks.
Isn't it hard?
It sucks. Ugh.
Yeah, Will and I have had that conversation about Diet Coke. We all have our vice. I may be more Diet Mountain Dew, but Diet Coke is up there.
Yeah, I wanted to stop get a Coke on the way home from work today so bad, but I held off. I don't know.
Good. You should reward yourself with a Coke.
The Coke tomorrow. Oh, we definitely need to go for a Coke tomorrow, Mo and I. Let's see what else I've been doing there. Oh, I got the complete build area all the way down to the bottom floor built out, but I'm doing this weird thing. I don't know if I told you guys earlier. I'm gonna build. It's like I have 3 from the wall and then an elevator shaft and then rooms 3 wide on the other side. But that's going all the way down. So there is like a room, like a sort of a column of space on the far side of the vault that's empty right now. So I'm having the one elevator shaft go all the way down to the bottom, and then the bottom floor, I'm going to extend all the way to that wall and then back up all the way the far side so that it goes all the way to the top, but you can't get from one room to the next. So like you can send a dweller literally rooms next to each other, and it will take them. They'll have to go all the way down, run across the bottom of the vault, and then I don't know. It's gonna take like 8 minutes for a person to get from rooms that are next to each other. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just thought it would be funny to design a vault like that.
You got to add some variety. You got to, you've been playing so much Shelter. Like, not that you'll ever get tired of it, but, a little variety doesn't hurt.
Have you ever played Pitfall 2 on the Atari? It's probably the 2600.
Yeah, for sure. I think.
It starts out.
Maybe ColecoVision.
Pitfalls. Yeah, I'm not sure what system it was, actually. But it starts out where our hero is standing there, but you see the person he's going to rescue standing one level below him. But there's a whole crazy path. I like seeing the end, but you can't get to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay,
Right
like
there.
a maze, like a board. Like
Yeah.
you got to get to Donkey Kong, but there are all these damn barrels and ladders in the way.
Stupid barrels.
Ladders.
I gotta go rescue Paula.
Was it Paula or Polly?
Pauline, I think.
Oh. What's the
I don't
difference?
know.
Sounds good.
Mo was informing me that I was like, I thought that was Peach. He's like, I thought you
Your
knew
Mario
video
expert
games.
son knows much better.
I was like, oh, sorry. No, that's not Peach.
You're gonna
He
be
scoffs
careful. He's gonna
me.
be starting a Mario Addict
He
podcast
rolled-
sometime soon. At
His
this rate.
eyes almost fell out the back of his head. They rolled so hard. Okay. I've been also dabbling in a little bit of Starfield. Trying to get back into that. Haven't been doing a ton. I'm still on like the first quest, and then I don't want to play the main quest at all. But I kind of wanted to get established with what are they called? Not Frontier. What are the Constellation? Yeah. I kind of wanted to just get established with them and then go off and do all the side quests that I ignored the first time through the game.
I love it. Yeah, when you're ready to come back, which now is okay if you're ready. But because as you finish the scoreboard, but we're going to start a roundtable soon. But after the next updates start up again in February, it'll be even better time to restart.
Well, I figure I can get a pretty good session in before the roundtable actually starts because we've barely even started. I know that we're threatening, but we haven't even really started the planning mode. You know what I mean?
Of course not. No, we're exactly the same place we were last week. Exactly. No change.
Zero progress has been made. But it's okay.
Well, I can definitely tell you from experience that once you go drop off the first artifact that you find, you tell Sarah you're not ready to go, and she says, "Okay, fine. Here, have a room, and have this, this backpack." And from that point on, you don't have to have any contact with them at all. You can go back and sleep in the bed. You can use the equipment down in the basement, but you never have to do anything for those people again.
That's being very grateful for their their hospitality, Ray.
Hey,
thanks for the room.
Yeah, they're also the ones that brought the pirates that shot at you. So.
Get out of my face.
Yeah, you can tell them you want to ignore the main quest when you go back and do stuff, is what I'm hearing. Obviously, I haven't done it yet, but I still think, from what I've heard, people who have avoided the main quest, I mean, unless you're doing it like Ray's way with a totally separate objective, like a lot of people don't find it as fulfilling without the central story right now in Starfield. As much as the factions have some good meat on the bones and there are other things you can do, it's maybe not as satisfying, just being a hauler without that main quest and those companions. It is a good reason to use the other companions, though.
If you
there's never any good reason to use any companions, Jess.
Some stuff. I mean, yeah, okay, you got that. I've leveled up my ship skill. I love having a crew of 6 people on my ship right now. I've got people all the time. They're always making cool comments, complimenting my docking skills, my flying skills. Like, Ray, you're alone with your thoughts. How do you handle it?
I am perfectly okay with myself. So I do have one character that has one crew member.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one where I was testing out the infirmary. You have to have a doctor. On board.
Okay. So you got the doctor from Aquila. Rosie is her name, I think. Tannehill, Rosie Tannehill, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember. Far too cheery.
She's great.
Too cheerful.
She's got a Hobbit name though. Rosie Tannehill is like 100% a Hobbit name. I just have to say. I've never recruited her, but I've talked to her, of course. I got a new companion, Betty Hauser. I had never met her before, and you get her in a random encounter. So I had that random encounter. So that was exciting. Oh, cool. Clint remembers her. She's a Kiwi. See? Oh, wait. Are Hobbit names just New Zealand names? That would be really meta.
Well, I mean, it does sound like Underhill.
Exactly. Sorry, you were talking gameplay.
Was I? No, I'm pretty much done. Ray's stream was extremely helpful. I need to watch it. How long do they stick on to Twitch for? I need to watch it while I sit down and try to build a goddamn ship. I really wanted to, have it on the screen and do that in tandem and build a ship along with while Ray was doing it. But
You streamed over 2 hours, but the actual section was maybe 20 minutes, right, Ray? Would you say the actual build of each?
Yeah, probably not much more than that.
I don't have to.
So
I kind of want to do one too, with an actual Xbox menu for you.
yeah, that might be helpful because my menu
that would be great.
You not got.
And yeah, you've got mods and shit running. I'm like, what? Mine doesn't look like that. What's he doing? Played a couple of other games as well. 76. Well, I guess just one more game. But big news. Finally reached in there and got my
Scorecation.
So I'm pretty happy about that. Yesterday I had after I completed all the weeklies and such, I just had two rounds of the the 10,000 XP thing to roll over. And I got that done. I the last couple of days I'd been using the boost. So I was getting a score boost of 50% because I was already at 25% through the the scoreboard boosts and from previous saves, and then I had a couple of stocked up. So
actually popped the real booster. Smart. I forget too often.
Well, I did that thing that you said to do, where it's like, if you're gonna do your weeklies, push them off as late as possible. Pop your thing.
Pop the booster, double dip.
Do your
Monday, Tuesday.
Do your weeklies and your Monday dailies and your Tuesday dailies and all that. Now, what I wanted to do is can you do your dailies without doing the weeklies all week, and then push your weeklies till Monday night, then do your Monday dailies and the previous week weeklies on Monday night, and then on Tuesday afternoon you do the Tuesday dailies and the Tuesday weeklies, and oh man, you're just a mess of score right there.
Like a heap of clams, a big old mess of score. I mean, the thing about
that,
first
they'd see you were doing that, and then they would it would take them 8 hours
somehow.
to
they'd
get the servers back up after.
I think they have realized that some of us are doing that. I mean, the reason to do it is to maximize the usage, like we like to do, of those boosts. But if you have plenty, you don't really need to maximize much. If you're only using 3 a season, you don't really need to maximize them as much as we were thinking at first.
Even with the boost, it still drags from level 90 to 100 for me.
Even more teapots. Clint says even more teapots if you use them.
I just don't get it. Why multiple times a week? What is the theme? What is the teapots? Was there something they're referencing? Teddy bears and teapots? What's going on here?
Yeah, big old teddy bear picnic.
What's the conspiracy?
Honestly, it's just, I think you kind of said it last week, that they feel like they're helping you by hey, if the weekly is get 9 of these, get 3 of these on separate days, and boom, you get the weekly done by doing the dailies. But of course, no, you do the weekly and the dailies on one day, and then you gotta keep doing it.
No, that helps no one. Please stop.
Next week it'll be donkeys and tea kettles.
Donkeys?
Yeah, so you go ass over tea kettles.
Gotcha.
Oh gosh, I knew there'd be some kind of donkey punchline there. My goodness.
Do we have you said donkey punch. Do we have a donkey plushie? No horse. Nothing. No. We don't have any equine plushies at all.
Yeah, the closest we have is the Squatch. Like they're not the big fat one, the cute sheepy one. You could
Yeah.
ride a sheep Squatch.
I would like to see you put a saddle on one. That'd be hilarious.
At least the fleshy.
Oh,
But yeah, like
on the plushie, yeah, they won't rip you apart.
we should have like a Dominic,
They're
the donkey
they're
for
pretty tame.
Giddy up
Christmas.
Buttercup.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yes.
There is a horsey. It's
See, that
junk.
would be perfect.
Yeah. Where can you get a whole one?
There's always a whole one
at
at the Quonset building by Silva Farm, Silva Homestead.
Oh, nice.
Yep, it spawns right to the right of the hay bales when you first go in the door.
Super sweet. Now, I wonder if you can put it in storage. Not storage, display, whatever those are called. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Such a plan. So, yeah, 76. Other than that, I was a little underwhelmed with the score prize. What were the highlights this season to you, Jess, on the scoreboard for the prizes that really stuck out as, oh, this is a cool item?
Well, I'm not done yet. So
Yeah, but you've looked.
Score boost.
You look.
yeah, the score boost. The fact that I can't think of one probably
that
says
makes
a
me
lot
dumb.
right now. I mean, I haven't been building with them. There are some that I was really happy to have gotten at the time. Like I do like the skins. Okay, normally I'm not like a fan of skins, but I felt like some of the weapon skins, the like casino themed ones, were really cool. All the cards, like the cool stack of cards, card house. The great thing about cards is that you can use them as clutter decoration in your camps. So that's good. The elegant chandelier is too gaudy. What else? I'm kind of thinking through. Oh, the new pool, the 9-ball pool table and the pool hall rack. That's kind of awesome. See, these are all camp things. The window blinds. Have you tried those?
No, I haven't gone through and built everything, of course, yet. But I was just going back through, and because after I hit scorecation, I always just scroll back through real quick just to make sure I cashed everything in, to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I was looking at all that, and I was just like, there just wasn't a banger of a reward. And
Okay,
all
so-
there's no secret door jackalope fireplace type.
I mean, that
item,
was
you know what I
awesome,
mean?
but I'm scrolling through and I'm actually finding some that really stand out to me. So, we'll see if chat has anything that they want to shout out themselves too. Because you're right, the ultimate one, the like high rank 90s that would normally be the best, is just the white modern kitchen set, which is great, but same as what we already have. But I do want to
Womp
shout out
womp.
the gazebo survival tent. That is well worth it. Have you tried it yet?
I have not. I have been liking the truck though. Like the pickup truck one. It's on a mound of dirt. It's pretty fun. I'll check out the gazebo.
Oh, I feel bad. So Leor's like, the chandelier is pretty great. And then that was right when I said it's gaudy. He's like, oh, or maybe it's gaudy. That's adorable. No,
Just-
it's awesome. In the right build. It's
Shreds his interior design.
I mean, the forklift is cool. There are some fun things, but it's almost all camp stuff aside from the skins and that gazebo survival tent.
No, I like camp stuff. It's just I was just slightly underwhelmed. I don't mean to
Yeah,
be
I
a
agree.
a complainer, but
I agree. It's so far the best season we've had in like the last year or two was the Hollywood one. I think I really enjoyed that one this summer.
well, I'll still put my thing. It's like the real way to win my heart over is to give me a tailor bench in the crafting table to make our own outfits. That's how you reward me. Come on, someone, Bethesda, take notes. Listen to us. But that's probably his server strain data issues if you allow people to start designing and putting their own things together. My last note was, I already mentioned, listen to the BBC ISSS Ray's No Man's Sky show. Always a pleasure, even though I don't even play the game. Such a fun show.
That's the second BBC ISS mention already.
Already. They're getting lots of them.
We have such a fun time.
Well, I
I
hadn't
mean, it's-
listened. You put it out, a couple weeks ago or a week and a half ago or something.
Yeah.
I just hadn't listened to it yet. So I missed you guys over the holidays. So yeah, let's roll into some game time and iguana bits and such. Let's go ahead and roll into it. This week on What time is it? Game time! I've got a double dip. We've got 2 games here. The first one I'd like to toss at you, I'm calling Mappalachia. Everyone see what I did there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coming at you.
Thinking I'm clever,
I'm
but Jess
excited.
says I'm not. All right. The general principle of this game is you're going to tell me which item I'm asking about is that direction more. Which of these 2 items is the more extreme of whichever direction I'm saying?
Oh, so like which is further from someplace? Like we're actually doing like distance?
Mappalachia. Here. We'll go ahead and start, and you will quickly gather the gist. Ray? Which is further north in the Fallout 76 map? The Pumpkin House or Deathclaw Island? Which is further north? Now you get the gist,
I'm gonna say
right?
Pumpkin House.
The Pumpkin House is correct. Good job, Ray. All right, Jess, over to you.
Gotta be close though.
South. Which is further south? Welch Station or Watoga Station?
Oh, surprisingly, it's Watoga Station.
It is
I think.
Watoga Station, Jess. Good job, Ray. Back to you. Which is further east? Johnson's Acre. You know which one that is?
No.
Way
It's a cultist
down,
location.
Yeah, cultist location way down south. That's like, no man's land on your way to Watoga. way down south. Jess, maybe we'll toss to you. Johnson's Acre versus Knife Edge, which is further east.
Oh, it's gotta be because okay, they're both in the Savage Divide, and it does slope a little bit to the northeast as it goes north. But Johnson's Acre is essentially directly south of Big Bend Tunnel East. I'm gonna still go Johnson's Acre. I hope it's right.
Johnson's Acre is correct. Good job, Jess.
Phew. Okay.
And Ray, we'll finish out here. I know you'll know these locations here. Which is further west? The West Virginia Lumber Company or Point Pleasant?
Oh, Point Pleasant's definitely further west.
Point Pleasant is correct. Good job, Ray. And that was our first round of Mappalachia. What time is it? Game time! Next on Game Time.
That's a good one. I like that. That was great.
Did you like that? Okay. Coming up next on Game Time, we've got a friendly returner of our favorite game, Pigcorn, or
Fist Rooster.
Fist Rooster, Pigcorn. Right. Okay. So the what we're going to do on Pigcorn today is slightly different than our usual. Everyone knows Pigcorn, right? I'm just going to give you some clues or a phrase or something that you'll have to guess the answer. And it's very simple, except for we're tossing in yet another twist on this one. Will played it this way a couple of times ago when he was on. We're doing the before and after version. You know, on Wheel of Fortune, where it's they do the before and after clue.
Oh yeah, the combination of different words entirely. Okay.
Yes, we're going to do that, but in Pigcorn fashion. So,
It's gonna make it so much harder. I'm excited.
this is going to be damn impossible.
Great.
You guys chime in with your names when you got it figured out. We'll start now.
So is this just everything in every Fallout game?
This is, just Fallout stuff.
Okay.
There's no specific category of these items. Before and after. The Oppenheimer quote and mutated Jackson chameleon.
Jess,
I
am become Deathclaw.
I am become Deathclaw. Good job, Jess.
Nice.
All right. The next one. the Fallout 3 setting, and Moira Brown's book. Fallout 3 setting and Moira Brown's book.
Do you want to grab it,
Ray?
Ray?
Capital Wasteland Survival.
Capital Wasteland Survival Guide. Good
Perfect.
job, Chad. Good job, Ray. All right. Up next, we have the Fallout 4 Luck bobblehead location and guidebook to Far Harbor.
Oh, Jess.
Jess.
Spectacle Island Almanac.
Spectacle
Nice.
Islanders Almanac. Absolutely. Good job. Ray. Or no, sorry. I thought we were hopping
Anybody.
back. We're not hopping back and forth. Next one. The Metal Militants and 8th major update to Fallout 76.
Okay.
The Metal Militants and 8th major update to Fallout 76.
I mean, I don't know about you, Ray, but I just want to say Automatron for both because that's what they are. But
Oh, but this is also Andrew, so the Metal Menace could be the Brotherhood.
Mm.
But I don't know.
I think Ray knows me. And you, Automatron was Fallout 4. I'm saying Fallout 76, Jess.
oh, okay, yeah, that's easy then. You got this, Ray? Because you already got half of it.
The
this is-
Brotherhood of Steel Dawn.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, fine. The Brotherhood of Steel. What was the second one? We had Steel Dawn and Steel Rain.
Rain, very good. Okay. Good job,
Nice.
you guys. I'll give it to both of you.
We got assist from the
teamwork,
Mysterious Stranger on that
teamwork,
one.
Teamwork, mysterious. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. All right. Next, we have the Shining Mushroom Stew. Fantastic Freak. Shining Mushroom Stew. Fantastic Freak.
Okay.
Let's see if I have any
Fantastic Freak. Trying to think. Do you have
some
a
thinking
hint?
music.
I mean, glowing mushroom soup. Like, that's easy. But, Oh, no. Jess. Glowing mushroom super mutant. Clever.
You nailed it. Good.
Nicely done.
Good job.
And there was much rejoicing.
All right, next we have shotguns weigh less and reload faster, and shotguns do more damage.
You're gonna have to get this one, Jess.
Yeah, you'd think I would know it since I mount it all the time.
Do you know these shotgun cards?
It's not quick hands. Shotgun. I mean, it's like Shotgun Master, but he said way less and do more damage. And what's the second one?
The first one was way less and reload faster, and the second one is do more damage.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. The shotguns way less and reload faster is the scatter shot card.
Oh, Scatter Shotgun Master then?
And shotguns do more damage is just shotgunner. So
Yeah.
scatter shotgunner is what I was looking for there. Scatter shotgunner. All right,
I have both those cards.
Here's our last one here, guys. The punishment will soon be over. Okay. Crescent Plain Satchel. Crescent Plain Satchel.
We're just going to cut the silence out later, y'all. Don't worry. You won't hear this. If you do, Andrew forgot.
So crescent.
Yeah, Crescent Plane. I mean, I'm thinking like moon.
Well, is it crescent plane? or just
Yeah.
Crescent and plain Satchel.
Oh, that's true. 'Cause the plane could belong to either. Maybe it belongs to both. Maybe it's a crescent plane, like an island in the shape of a crescent or something, and a plain satchel, like a bag. I mean, so there aren't moon pies. What has moon in it? Why am I thinking moon?
Moon pies. I wish there was moon pies.
I can't think of any crescent-shaped areas.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to picture too. There's got to be, right? But okay, we need a hint or something, Andrew.
Let's see if I can come up with a hint here. Crescent. We'll give you the first word. How about arc?
Oh, so okay, we got Arctos Pharma or ArcJet, this and that. Plain satchel.
Crescent is arc. Plane and satchel.
Yep.
So Arc Jet,
Will make you jittery.
and then what's the satchel?
I mean, we just got a bag, right? Like,
Well, so it's got to be a jet bag of some kind.
if it's ArcJet, but what if it's Arctos?
Well, but jet is a plane.
Oh, that's smart. I didn't get that kind of plane. I never even thought of that kind of plane.
Oh, you thought it was like the horizontal plane versus the vertical plane?
Like Nirvana, I'm on a plane.
Oh, I always
'Cause
thought
that's the first thing you think of.
I always thought he was talking about first class on an airplane.
Oh, Clint might have it. He says ArcJet fuel.
Oh, come on.
I don't know.
Satchel?
Look, we're grasping at straws. Jetpack, ArcJet pack.
Arc jetpack.
Nice.
Good job, Jess.
Jeez, I'm like, because a jetpack isn't a bag, but the whole point was you didn't need it to be a bag, so you need to sound like it. Got it.
Satchel pack. Yes. All right. So that was our very fun double dip dose of. What time is it? Game time. Oh man, we need to play some more
Pigcorn?
or
Fist rooster.
every chance we get. All right.
I loved it. I loved it. It was
good
hard. The last two were really kind of hard, but I loved it.
That was a little out of left field, but we'll see. Maybe include Mappalachia again. Was that okay, you guys? I think that one was fun.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I'll
You
hit
guys
the
like,
blue geography
"Nah,
wedge any day.
Whatever. No. Ray hates 76. We'll do it with 4 next time, Ray. How about that?
That's fine.
Okay.
It
Do it with
doesn't matter.
systems and Starfield.
It's only the new it's only the new locations that I struggle with.
Oh, they have added some. Let's see, what could be the worst? And also, Mappalachia has to stay with 76 because of the whole Appalachia pun. What can we call Commonwealth and a map pun? Anyone? Come on. Got to come up with something. All right, so let's roll over into...
Oh, in
Jessica, to the office,
Massachusetts.
please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up.
I'm ready for some iguana bits.
Oh my goodness, I'm excited for some iguana bits. So we don't have a heavy helping today, but we do have some stuff. So first up, I just want to say Atomic Shop. Yes, the Atomic Shop for the last 3 weeks has been getting new things every week. Like, sure, there's no Fallout news, but there's stuff you can buy. Hope you got plenty of atoms. You got it. We got to keep that rolling in. You know, one thing I didn't mention last week on the leaked roadmap that I was talking about with their projected game releases and stuff coming out over 4 years from 2020 to 2024. They also had projected income. And I thought that people haven't really talked about that, but I thought that was really interesting. I don't know that I have the chart right here in front of me, but the idea, oh, yes, I do. Look at this. I still have it saved, you guys. Projected if income from Fallout 76 fiscal year 2020. So this would like 3 years ago, 80 million, you guys. Projected income fiscal year 21 and 45 million. And then going forward, 22 on, they figured we'd slow down and level out to about 35 million. You guys, 35 million a year from Fallout 76. sustainable going forward was the projection, once again, 3 years ago. But that's a hell of a lot of atoms. And they got to bring new stuff to the shop. And boy, howdy, have they. So we got a nice free item. We got a free item, the meat locker, you guys probably saw. But this time I'm on a boat. They gave us a boat. Did you get this, Andrew?
You can't stop me, motherfucker, cause I'm on a boat.
I'm on a
I can't
boat.
believe you have that ready. Oh my God. I love you. That's amazing. Yes. We got the Disaster Dock bundle. We got the Guild Headquarters bundle, which is some old stuff bundled together in a new form. The Mirelurk steamer is really cool. The name of the boat is the Bulwark, by the way. That is awesome.
The Bulwark.
Plushies.
That's the thing, right? No, that was from. What is that? Solstheim or something, right? Isn't that the Bulwark?
Well, one of your Thanes. Was it Argus the Bulwark? Argus the Bulwark was your.
I don't remember.
Not your Thane. Your helper from. What do you call your helpers in Skyrim, Ray? Like Lydia.
House Carl.
House Carl. Thank you. Argus the Bulwark, I think, was the House Carl for all the way west. Markarth, is that right?
I have no idea.
Ray's like, I don't get companions. I don't remember.
I just have these crazy, weird Nord names stuck in my head. They don't even make sense anymore.
I can't remember. I remembered that, but I knew what you were referring to. So yeah, the Bulwark. But so that was this week. We got some cool stuff. But they still got, the washer and dryer set, which is pretty awesome. A bunch of new signs. By the way, nobody told me when it first came out, but that cool ass New Year's Eve outfit that came out 2 weeks ago has a shiny beret in it. Yeah, the dress is cool, but you get a shiny gold beret. So well worth the pickup, just saying. There's a question in chat about projections for Starfield. And once again, keep in mind, this was projections from 2 years before the game came out. Actually, literally 3 because it was delayed a little bit. But their projected income for Starfield in the first year of release was $600 million. Projected income for Starfield second year after release, $215 million. And then leveling out to, $50 million and slowing down for that from sales. So once again, this is complete estimates ahead of time that we're looking at from 3-4 years ago. So things may have changed, but someone in chat asked what the projections were. Since I have them up, I thought I'd share. ESO, interestingly, long-term, we're expecting about 200 million and makes about 150 to 180 million, it looks like, per year is kind of their average. So roughly double 76, but still both pretty good. And if you ever wondered, okay, what would a brand new Skyrim or a brand new Elder Scrolls release? That is by far the biggest number on this chart. They were predicting 3 years ago that the release of Elder Scrolls 6 would bring in 1,000 million or $1 billion.
$100 billion.
We all got to put our pinky in our mouth.
That's a good visual joke for everyone on the podcast.
Yeah, everybody listening saw me put my pinky up.
That's true. They can hear that.
That's why I had to say it. But yeah, so anyway, didn't expect to dive into those iguana bits, but if you were curious, there you go. Also, I've mentioned the last couple of weeks that at the end of February, the end of January, the Burning Love event was going to start, and I wasn't quite sure what that was. But looking into it, it looks like that was the name of the Valentine's event we had last year, too. So it's really just a weekly challenge where do a certain number of things, either with the Burning Love bow, while wearing your rose suit, stuff like that. So the original event of this nature for Valentine's was the Spread the Love event. And that's where you got the cool heart wrencher, the bouquet of flowers you're whacking people with. And so we did that, I think, for 2 years. And then last year, I'm hearing it was Burning Love, and this one too. So yeah, Burning Love doesn't sound that great, but it should be fun. Those weekly challenges, like put on a birthday suit and do stuff, or all that, they're always a good time. So that's what Burning Love is.
I like the heart wrencher. We haven't used that in a while. Remember that?
Yeah,
bouquet of flowers that was a pipe wrench or whatever.
Right. That was just for the Spread the Love event. I hope that they do that again. I mean, why not incorporate that in the Burning Love event? It's a cool item. Plus, people who didn't get the skin at the time 2 years ago could get it now.
Was that 2 years ago? I thought that was last year. Was it 2 years ago? Good Lord.
There might be a misinterpretation. So when I was looking at Burning Love, people said that we had that last year as well. But I remember having Spread the Love 2 years in a row. So I'm not 100% which one we had last year. But either way, going to be a series of events for a weekly thing, like usual, from what I'm hearing. Also, in Iguana Bits news, we are getting a Dev Direct coming up. So for Xbox fans, not really Fallout related per se, although who knows what'll pop in. But Xbox is doing a Developer Direct event on the 18th. So that's next Thursday. And I'm checking the calendar. Yeah, that is Thursday. Okay. And at that, they're going to be showing some Xbox games coming out this year. And interestingly enough, on the list, we had Indiana Jones, which we didn't know if it was next year or the year after, but they are, whether or not it's this year, they are showing it at the Dev Direct, which means it's more likely this year than we thought. They're also going to show Avowed, which is the new game from Obsidian. Everyone knows makers of Outer Worlds and Fallout New Vegas. Well, their next game, Avowed, should be coming out this year, and that'll be at the event. And then they're doing two others too. Skipping my mind right now, but a lot of cool games coming up, and I'm glad that they're doing that event so we can take a look at that. We did have some big Starfield news today. Did you get a chance to look at this, Ray? Kind of see the announcement today?
I saw that there was an announcement, and I saw some bits and pieces, but I never found the actual article or anything in the Discord or.
Yep. So. There was an announcement pushed out. They shared it on social media, but also through the Discord announce channel that we have. And it says next week, January 17th, they're putting their biggest Starfield update yet into Steam beta. So once again, they're doing the beta thing prior to release. So we can assume that what they're testing will be the first big update in February that they had said they were going to do. So that'll be next week in beta. It says over 100 fixes and improvements, planned release date for all players 2 weeks later. So that would be beginning of February. They said this update contains a multitude of fixes to quests, Eye of the Storm issues, such as being unable to dock with the legacy or data transfer not starting. There's a Crimson Fleet quest for those who haven't done that stuff. And temples not showing up in Into the Unknown, whereas you're supposed to find temples and you don't. I haven't had that happen, but I've heard about some people do. And that kind of stuff will no longer prevent Constellation from exploring. Additionally, stability improvements, numerous graphics improvements, including additional widescreen support to improved textures. So we knew they were doing more widescreen options for people coming in. So they're continuing to add graphics modes, work on the DLSS, add improved textures, lighting, and shadows. And they shared some example pics of the lighting and shadow system. So basically, they're just going to be adding more lighting and shadows in various places. They showed in Character Creator how currently the lighting in Character Creator is pretty flat. But they're going to be adding, more shadows and reflections of Character Creator too, so you can see more accurately what your character might look like out in the wild. But they'll be doing that throughout the game. They just use that as an example. They're also doing shadows on rings. So when you're in space, you guys may have noticed on ringed planets, you can often see the shadow on the rings. But a lot of times when you're landing and looking at a planet in the sky, you don't see the shadows on the rings. So they're fixing that. It's called sun disk geometry. They're fixing sun disk geometry. Got to get the right word. Planet ring shadows. Bulldozed objects. So when you're building and you put an item on top of something else, it basically makes it go away. But when you reload your game, it should essentially, if you have something still built there, the item shouldn't pop back into your outpost. And if you don't have something there, the item should pop back in. But of course, people are having things pop in when they shouldn't and not pop in when they should. So they're working on that, getting that fixed. And another fix for asteroids following ships. So people who still had a little pet rock with their ship should be seeing fix on that. But anyway, yeah, over 100 things coming up in the update. I thought that was kind of neat and wanted to mention.
Yeah, so there really wasn't any mention of anything except for fixes.
Yeah. No specific stuff about new content, just a bunch of different fixes for the first update. Which, I mean, it's kind of what we expect. You know what I mean? Like, we know that their big DLC Shattered Space isn't coming yet, but we would hope that, for instance, the map improvement and stuff like that might have been in this update. And I mean, still fingers crossed for that. Because I would like to have that and other quality of life stuff.
Yeah, and the freaking creation kit.
Yes. Yeah, creation kit and mods. Hopefully not too far away. But, they talked about how they'd be planning on doing updates and fixes approximately every 6 weeks or so. So if we get our first beginning of February, then the next one will be, early-ish March and then late April as we go on. Also looking at the Developer Direct. So beyond Indiana Jones and Avowed that I mentioned, they're also going to show off Ara, History Untold, which Looks awesome. It's from some former Firaxis developers who work on Civilization, and it's a new 4X strategy, Civilization style game. But it looks really beautiful, and of course, I love those games. So, and then the biggest one, I can't believe I forgot for a second, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. So those 4 games, and then they'll be doing an Elder Scrolls Online thing directly afterward, revealing the whole big new expansion to ESO. So yeah.
Yeah.
Taking
So
look at
expansion.
exactly. You can look at people's comments in chat, and they're talking about they've gotten trees in their landing pads, stuff like that. So yeah, let's fix that.
Trees in their landing pads.
Yeah, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter. Also, coming out in February, this is not a regular Guana bit at all, but it cracked me up. For those, people who don't know, I'm kind of into Pokemon too. I don't talk about it a lot, but I love Pokemon. And the new game Pal World is coming out. Pal World is a big old Pokemon ripoff game, which once again, surprised they're not being sued, or at least, I'm still not sure it's completely allowed, but yeah, companies bring a game called Pal World, and this is essentially Pokemon with guns. You got to collect them all. There are 100 of them. It's essentially like the way people make fun of Pokemon, where they're like, oh, you capture these creatures and you actually make them battle each other, like to the death and stuff. It's a little more like that, but there's 100 different pals, but they use guns and weapons a little bit. It's like hardcore Pokemon.
That's crazy.
It's hilarious. If you've seen any of the ads, it made me laugh. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Coming out next month. So expect a report on that from me when I play.
Absolutely.
And
tell me if it's appropriate for Moses, because if he sees me play that, I know he'll want to play that, and I don't know if that's appropriate or not. We'll see.
Well, what's interesting is I think it's dropping day one Game Pass. So if that's the case, yeah, I'll be playing it. A lot of us can play it, and you can take a look at it. And finally, I just a quick note. Don't have a lot of info yet, but there is a small online convention coming up, a Bethesda-based modding convention. It's called Community Creations Con. You guys might have heard of it. C3, if you've seen some ads. But it's Community Creations Con. It's being sponsored by a couple of modding Discords and subreddits people in the community. And it'll be a 2-day online convention with a number of panels and tutorials and all kinds of stuff about modding. And that'll be February 2nd and 3rd. So I'll give you the exact times and dates when that's coming up. But here, there are going to be some great panels there, some great demos. Good time to actually take a look at people using the creation kit, what they're doing currently with Starfield, what they've been doing with Skyrim. There'll most likely be some talk about how creations are being implemented in Skyrim, what that means, and maybe how they'll be implemented in Starfield and ultimately Fallout possibly. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Mark your calendars.
Sounds super fun. Triple C, everybody.
C3, you there? Oh my God.
Oh,
Can I take that back?
Look at you. But pick that up. All right. So we've got some shout outs on the way out the door. Is there any other stuff you guys want to talk about this evening before we head in that direction?
Well, I think we should hit the Scorecations, the Starbations. Let's hit those pretty early because I've been wanting to shout them out all night.
Absolutely. Let's get to that then. Who do we have this evening who have finally
get ready.
crested the what's it called? Starborn.
Yeah. So for Starbation, I have one friend who just hit Starborn. Now, my friend Doc Wiki, I've mentioned him before. He's he's been doing a role playthrough, and he's been in original game as long as me from the beginning. Well, he finally this week hit Starcation himself. So shout out to Doc Wiki.
Good job, Doc.
Well done. And then we knew Scorecation was coming. A lot of our listeners have hit Scorecation. So a big shout out to Charlene.
Oh, nice.
Scorecation!
Good job, Charlene.
Sulior.
No way.
Scorecation!
Our buddy Archon.
Scorecation!
A double dose of Scorecation for Brandon Andon.
Scorecation!
He did.
Scorecation!
I love it. Triple dose.
trying to
He
give an extra dip there. Sorry.
He did both Xbox and PC again. And this last one, somebody named Andrew.
Who's that?
Scorecation!
Oh, thank the fucking Lord.
Wasn't even that long. What's it been? 6 weeks?
I don't know. It feels
You
like
lived.
a lifetime.
How many teapots and teddies, right?
December 6th, right? Isn't that when it started? 12th. I don't remember.
Yeah, December 6th or 8th, around there.
Something like that. All right.
So yeah, that was really only a little over a month ago.
A month and a week. Yeah.
6 weeks. Yep.
Not too terrible, I guess. But I don't know. I sit here and complain, but I, always like playing the game. It's always a good time.
I want to get those shots for sure. And you got one yourself you wanted to put here?
Oh, what do I have here? Oh, you know what, guys? My little pup, little Oscar, he's our firstborn, as my wife likes to say, because he's our fur baby. Just turned 14 years old today. And he's such just a little ball of hate. And Tori loves to say that he's pickled with hate. And that's the only reason he's alive is because he's so pickled with hate. And But he's very territorial and likes my wife and I and some other adults, but despises all children. Mo hates Oscar, and Oscar, sometimes tolerates Mo, but oh boy, it's he's a spunky little pup, and I can't believe it's been 14 years since we brought. He used to fit in the palm of my hand, like I could stick out my hand.
Amazing. Oscar's adorable.
Yeah,
he's a ball of cuteness.
Sometimes he puts on a little bit of weight and gets up over 5 pounds, but he's usually right around just under 5 pounds. So he's I don't think he qualifies as a teacup. I think that's a 2 or 3 pound threshold there, but definitely a little miniature Chihuahua guy. And he's got the long fluffy ears and this poofy tail and all the butt fuzz and the Dr. Seuss toes and everything. It's really cute little fuzzy guy. Anyway, happy birthday, little Oscar. That was my big shout out.
Happy birthday, Oscar.
I'm talking about my stupid dog. And so that's our we got the Starborn and Scorecations. Great, guys. Congratulations, everyone, on your Scorecation and Starborn. Good job, guys. All right.
I picking up on last week's talk. So I was talking to you guys before the show about how all our food talk with pizza last week and such, and various toppings put on it and ways we eat it and this and that kind of influenced my grocery shopping this week. That all that talk about dressing, actually, I know you guys were teasing about my French dressing, which I stand by. Do it, Catalina French, especially. But I picked up a ranch and probably just I haven't had dressing in the house for a while because I haven't. When I do salad, I usually do vinegar. A little balsamic or whatever. That's my go-to.
Yeah,
so I picked up ranch. What did you say, Andrew?
I said, yeah, that shit's good. I love balsamic and
it's the
together.
best. I love a good balsamic, and get a couple of leaves on there. But I did Parmesan peppercorn and ranch and a whole bunch of fresh veggies. So I've been having salads and wraps all week. It's been a very, very healthy week.
Sometimes you buy, that's one of the things. When I used to live by myself, I hated because I just end up eating it's so hard to buy groceries for one person because then you just eat the same thing for a whole week straight, and you feel bad for wasting food. But good Lord, can I eat this thing, one more time before?
Yeah, when you're cooking and eating for one, it's very much like that. I mean, I follow a routine in my house. It's been just me for 4 or 5 years now. So the groceries have definitely got the 4 to 6 things that Jess always buys, and you got to break out of that routine sometimes.
What's the pug like on the grocery list? What's he requesting?
Everything, like I said, Brahmin ribeye steak, also dog food.
Salami.
No, his favorite food is pizza to continue that conversation, but cheese too. I tend to always get, as besides, fancy pug treats, we get string cheese, and that is for both me and the pug. He gets half of pretty much every
oh, nice.
stick of string cheese that I eat is also half the pug.
What is a fancy pug treat?
Oh,
Does he
it
have
can
like
vary.
does he have like a
Pig ears or
Scooby
bully
snack?
sticks.
Ooh, pig ears. That's a good one.
Yeah, sometimes fancy raw treats, stuff, all kinds of things.
You ever do the Kong thing where you hide it and hide the treats inside of a rubber toy and then make them work for it?
Definitely. It's funny. It's something that we used to specialize in. So, you guys know I used to work for a dog toy company. So we would do a number of
Right,
different
I
toys.
forgot about that.
Yeah, for specifically hiding cheese or peanut butter or various things in, cream cheese. So like light bulbs and all kinds of things that, sorry, it's Christmas time. So I was thinking about light bulb toys.
That's great. We tried that with Oscar, and he just kind of walked away from it. He didn't care.
He really?
I don't know.
Does he?
He's a little dick. I don't know.
It's like, what do you think? I don't work for my food.
Yeah, it's
How
like
about your kids? They do, right? Barty, Monkey, any of them?
No, well, monkey won't take a treat
At all?
because she thinks then she owes you something. And
Oh, she's like, what's the
I am-
catch?
I am
Yeah.
not performing for you, old man.
yes, she's like, no, thanks. Yeah, and then little JoJo will eat anything and everything. She comes in the kitchen when I'm cooking, and sometimes she'll end up with a piece of kale or broccoli or the end of a carrot. And
I don't know about JoJo, but Alistair loves carrots.
yeah, she definitely likes the carrots. The other stuff, not always.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Oscar
a
loves
green
carrots, too.
bean falls on the floor, that's no good.
So, and then Barney doesn't have any teeth left, so he doesn't
Mushy
eat
food for him.
anything solid.
All right, you guys.
Yeah.
What else?
I
you
just
got?
brought that up because I was curious if some of our food talk influenced people's shopping lists or not.
Well, put some Catalina on some dog food, and it is just delicious.
Gross.
Yeah. So they also have bacon French.
Oh yes, that is good.
Bacon
you had it?
French?
Oh, of course.
Oh, just like bacon flavor.
Yeah. If you want to sell me anything, just put bacon at the beginning.
I actually did a thing this week. So I got a big old rasher of bacon too, because I'm thinking, I'm going to make BLTs with my wraps, which of course I ate all the bacon the first 2 days. But I oven cooked the bacon on, like you do sometimes on a cookie rack. So, all the grease drained down to the pan. But then I saved that. And this week when I made tater tots and fries, I took a little scoop of the bacon grease and just like kind of coated the pan with it and then put them on. So all my fries and tots this week, I've had them like 3 times. Delicious taste of bacon. So I highly recommend that.
Yeah.
I always
So if you bake bacon like that in your oven,
Mhm.
take and cover one side of it with brown sugar,
Okay.
and then bake it until it starts getting real bubbly, and then flip it over. Put brown sugar on the other side. Also best if you mix in a little cayenne.
Oh, yum.
And you come up with candied bacon. And so when it cools off, it gets crunchy. And
did you say
that is just
did you say
an insane way to eat bacon.
brown sugar? Did you say?
Yeah, brown sugar.
I've taken to. We have a stovetop whirly pop thing that for making popcorn, where you like turn the end of the handle and like there's a little spinning bar in the pot of popcorn, so that you know how that works. Anyway,
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've taken to putting brown sugar in that like the last few seconds before it starts popping, and it's like in a brown sugar like glaze of the popcorn, almost like caramel corn. It's not quite the same, but it's man, you crust brown sugar on just about anything, it's damn good. We had that for Christmas this year. We got and Tori was like, I don't want to cook, and I was like, all right, we'll just go get honey baked ham, and we'll just eat off of it for days. And we ate off for days and days in a row. But that ham is like crusted in like some crazy brown sugar deliciousness.
Yeah, I love that.
It's so fucking good.
I love that. I've
Good
definitely
stuff.
done brown sugar on bacon, but not like heavily candied like you're talking about. Just a little drizzle, or chocolate dip bacon too. Always yummy.
Oh, weird stuff dipped in chocolate is a good hobby to get into. Like the potato chips and stuff like that. I love like a wavy Ruffles chip, like dipped in chocolate. Ah, that shit is good.
Yeah. I don't have bacon as often as I should at home. You know what I mean? Like, because it's messy to cook and stuff unless you bake it. And so, I just don't usually bother buying bacon. Every time I do, I'm like, why don't I do this every week? And of course, my cholesterol will probably be part of the reason, but
we bake it all the time. Do you fry it usually? We always go oven with our bacon.
I have done oven more than not lately. Also, to the surprise of nobody, I have a microwave bacon tray. I have used that as well. It's my favorite cooking instrument.
Yeah, we have one of those sort of ridged, right on the bottom, and like on the top, the lid. It's vented lid, but it has a little pig nose on it for the handle, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got it. Totally silly. Just one of those things. Not the best way to cook bacon at all. Just bake it or fry it. And save the grease. Like, obviously everybody does, but I haven't done it in a while. So it was just kind of a fun thing this week. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just picked up some hash browns so that I can make breakfast on the flat top tomorrow.
Is
Oh,
that
nice.
shredded or cubed in potatoes in your book? Shredded.
Yep. And you get one side of the flat top turned up to the max and just brown the crap out of it. Make super crispy.
When should I arrive? You cooking breakfast?
Probably 10:30ish.
Candied bacon and hash browns, please.
And eggs, probably, right?
I'll take some of that.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
You ever like we do our bacon? Sometimes we'll just get a pan, a cookie sheet with like walled edges to it, and like do 5 or 6 eggs. Just crack them onto the cookie sheet and bake that with the bacon at the same time in the oven. You ever baked like over easy eggs before instead of pan fry? Works pretty well.
Actually, I've done it in the mini cupcake tins.
Oh yeah,
I have done that for like big hard boiled eggs and stuff like that. And, you can obviously hard boil in the stove that way too. But, I've done that.
Yeah,
but not often. It's kind of some of these things. Some of these like fun cooking methods are kind of a little bit of a fad. Like people are doing for a while. You see a lot of life hack videos. You're like, oh, I'm going to try that, and it's fun for a year, and then you just kind of stop because it's really not that much more convenient. It's the novelty of it.
Everyone on Earth bought an air fryer in the last 3 years, right?
Oh,
That
and
sort of
evangelize them too. People use air fryers like vegans. They will let you know why it's better.
Oh, but
it is great.
yep, it is a pretty great little thing. All right, you guys, anything else you want to get into tonight before we sign off?
That about covers it. Thank you for the fun food talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, I will say for a 4th time tonight, you can find lots of good No Man's Sky information on a little podcast called The Butcher Baker Candlemaker in Space. That is at BBCISSS on the Twitters. You can also find him at RayLB. Ray, thanks so much for hopping on tonight.
Good times.
Jess can be found at You Wastelanders, also at Dames Who Game. And also, she can be found at Sleep is 4T. Jess, thanks so much for hopping on.
Thank you. Have a great week, y'all.
I can be found at Indie Android, and the show can be found at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. We will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.